Hi, good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're all fine and that you can hear me well enough. So, as usual, I will ask if you can confirm in the chat that you hear me loud and clear, or if there are any problems, then we'll get started very soon. Great. Seems everything is working. Okay. Good. Thank you. Thank you for. As usual, there is a little bit of delay. I speak and then you hear me after like 30 or 40 seconds, so bear with me for that. I'll get started right away, and whoever joins us later can obviously see the recording and be up to date with everything. I just want to get started because today is very dense. I have a lot of information for you, very important. We made, it's a bit of a milestone this week. We made a change in our strategy. So I want you to know and understand why we did it, first of all, and then also to understand what we will do. And sometimes it can get complex because there are regulations and accreditation things to know. So I would be a little bit technical sometimes. And that's even more a reason for explaining to you rather than just writing you an email. But if you bear with me and you hold your questions for the last part, please follow, and then you'll get through also the technicalities of the Italian system. So let's start off with the first news. Because we've been living it, that in the last 3 weeks were very unknown for all of us. Every week we were waiting for a new decree from the authorities, for a new official communication, for new information, and then only after that was released, we took action in order to organize and react to the new requirements that we had. So, and this situation obviously affected us all, and there was nothing we could do. However, we believe that now we have this deadline, of the 3rd of April. That is the last decree deadline. Although there is no new information at the time of speaking, everybody is like saying, there are rumors, there are voices, there are, people who say that even from governmental sources that things will not end by the 3rd of April. We don't know how long they will prolong what measures. We certainly know that the 4th of April, we won't be going back to normality. That's for sure. So, as you can imagine, we are, running courses that last a whole semester, and obviously they are affected negatively if we make decisions week by week, because all of your teachers, are waiting for what's going to happen next week. So, shall I continue with the program that is best for online, or shall I wait and hold myself because we are getting back to normality so I can, run a program as usual? And I mean, that's not a good way to continue anymore. I think we all deserve more stability. I know that because I feel it myself. I mean, I'm in the same situation of yours. You tell me, I mean, that's one of the first requests and the more frequent requests. You want to know things with a longer time frame. And obviously, teachers and everybody who works here, they will work better. We all will work better if we had a longer term plan and not just week by week. So that's why we decided that this week the decision is that it's the time to make longer term decisions, regardless of what is going to happen after the 3rd of April, at the 30th of April, or in future dates. So the first information I need to tell you that is very important is that NABA will deliver everything, every subject, the theoretical, the practical, online for the whole semester. So, but wait, because I'm not finished. So just hold your questions a bit more. So what I'm saying is everything you're doing now remotely, online, will continue until the very end of the semester. So the whole program for every courses will be delivered online. And that's one information. Obviously, why do we do that? I was saying I want you to understand why we do things. Well, we, for the reason I told you, we think it's good for everybody to have a longer term, and that's the only long-term plan we can make. Because if we plan on when are we going to return, there's no way we can actually know the date of return to normality. And there is a lot of students, a lot of you, many of you have the need to finish the semester on time, meaning that some of you are in Erasmus in exchange, or they have a scholarship, or they come from another university, they have a visa that is about to expire. There are very different situations, but a very large number of students needs a time frame that does not exceed the normal time frame. So we cannot just hold everything, stop everything, and say we will continue when everything is normal. So we can't just put everything on hold and maybe in July start the semester from where we left, because we will create problems for a vast community of students. So we also realize, on the other hand, that the kind of education in this field, at least, that you can deliver online is very different from the way we used to work. We don't normally deliver courses online. So I had intensive talks with colleagues of mine at Politecnico di Milano and also at University of the Arts, Central St. Martin, London College of Fashion, London College of Communication, who are top world ranked universities. So it's a confrontation that I had of a certain level. I want to level what NABA does with a certain benchmark. They are also doing academic activities online only. But what's the difference? I would like to offer NABA students something more than other universities, because we think we should keep a level of quality even in these times of great limitations. So what is the plan? In addition to what I said, obviously we know that there are some subjects that are very much affected by being online. Everything that is lab-based, for example, we know there will be something missing. So we thought of integrations. The semester will finish normally, exams will be online, the semester will be online, and whoever wants to conclude the semester this way, for whatever reason, will be allowed to do it. Whoever feels that that's not enough, and they want to have a more complete experience, as including laboratories, including practical work, which is more than legitimate of you to ask for. After all, this is why you came to NABA. I mean, we show our labs, and we make them one of our points of strength. So obviously you want to use them. And if you say we are not satisfied with online only, I would say you're right. You shouldn't be, and we shouldn't let you down in this. So what are we going to do? When we will be able to be back to normality, I don't know when this is going to be. Maybe May, maybe June, maybe July. Don't ask me, because really I cannot tell. I don't know. But when this will be real, then we will organize integration activity, extraordinary activities, which will be out of the count of hours of the semester. So they won't be compulsory. They won't be. We won't charge you for that. Obviously, they will be free for all students, even for who graduates before those activities. So let's say you graduate in July and we make these activities in September, you will be able to attend to them regularly without paying. So those are a free integration of online courses, mainly lab-based. And we will integrate all the subjects that we think are affected by being delivered online with extracurricular activities later when we can make them. So this way, who feels that is being, deprived of something by an online-only offering, we hope, will be satisfied from having the same experience. Obviously, not at the same time. There's nothing we can do, but at a later stage. And we decided to keep this extracurricular just because we want people who wants to finish the semester on time to be able to do it. So those are not part of the exam. Those are not part of the curriculum. Those are extra things. You've been very quiet in the chat. Could you just give me a sign that everything is, you hear me and everything is good? Because I don't know if you're very disciplined and you're not asking any questions as I asked you to do, or if you don't hear me. Okay, great, excellent. So thank you for listening so focusedly. Okay, good. So that's the plan. Very short, we'll say the whole semester will go online, all exam online, all courses online, and there will be extra activities when things will be back to normal. These extra activities, there is no calendar for that, obviously, and they will follow different criteria. They will not be evenly distributed among subjects. Some subjects will need more, some subjects will need less, some subjects will not need extras at all. The more theoretical subjects in many cases do not need any integration. So that's a criteria that we will establish according to what course leaders and teacher, we obviously have things in mind, and according to priorities, they will follow different scheduling, different intensivity. Some of them maybe we will organize something intensive, some other will prefer to dilute it along a longer time frame, maybe weekly for 1 month. I'm just making examples. So this is the way they are going to be, scheduled is not a priority at the moment, and we cannot know for sure. But the message I want to give you is that there will be more than just online courses. And to my knowledge, today, no other institutions in Italy and the two that I mentioned also abroad are offering this. So we are trying to level NABA to a very high standard given the situation. So, and to give you some numbers, because obviously NABA is a private institution, and you always ask questions about money and how much, and it's fair for you to know. We have put together, and I'm very happy about the response that the corporate, let's say, part of NABA gave me, because there is a special budget for that there is of several hundreds of thousands of euros. So it's really a lot of resources that NABA is putting down. So I'm very happy of this allowance, because that will allow us to deliver what we want properly. And it's at the moment more than 5,500 of class time. So it is a lot of extra didactical activities. So and with the new budget next year, there may be even more. So as a basis, I'm very happy that I am allowed to tell you this, and those funds were set aside for this purpose. So this is the first communication I want to give you. I have others of less, let's say, not importance, but less intensive to absorb. So I will make a little break now to see if you have questions on this particular subject, and then we continue with other things. So let me just check your messages. Okay, I'll start from Tanishk. How do we get credits for the semesters? The same way. You will follow your classes online, you will do your exams online, all of them, and you get credits for them. So there's nothing different from your side. So for extra activities, it's a bit difficult to organize a workshop, but we can do online. Sorry, I missed Selene, I missed your online part. Yes, that's another thing we're trying to do. So there are a lot of activities at the moment around in Italy and abroad that are extra. There are a lot of courses online of different subjects, a lot of museums that offer their collections for free, a lot of really extracurricular possibilities for you to follow. We are also sharing, even myself, online initiatives that we think interesting. So as usual, you can do a personal activity of this kind and ask for extra credits. And that's always possible. At the moment, in the short term, we don't have any intensive workshop planned. Things may change towards May, maybe, because we really concentrated on the priority of making sure that the semester is taken care of. That was our first priority. I know that you need extracurricular activities to graduate. So if you're in a hurry, you can find courses online that are very good. I'll be happy to help you. By the way, you all, as NABA students, have already an account on LinkedIn Learning, the former lynda.com. You find it in your one login. If you click with your number credentials, you can access a lot of courses that are normally paid. You can access for free. Those could be a good way to have extra credits in absence of workshops. Attendance online is not required, meaning I'm answering to be hard, meaning that by law, the online education counts as presence. So don't worry about being present all the time. Some teachers have a live sort of class. Some others prefer to do it not live or a mixture, but everything we do by law will not count. So basically the, how can we call it? You're not obliged to do things. Obviously, I urge you to do them anyway because it's in your interest, but you will be able to do the exam in the first sessions in any case. Try to be present, obviously. The thesis, obviously, we do everything online if we cannot do it in person. So for May, we hoped we could do it in person. We are still not lost our hopes, but it may be that we have to do them online. So it's up to you. You may change your thesis project towards something that you can do remotely. If you need to graduate or you have no other choice, you can wait and see. You can postpone. So it's really up to you. We know that not everything can be done. So you need to balance what is your needs. Do you have to graduate because maybe you have enrolled to a master courses later and you have to start and you can postpone your graduation, indeterminately? Then try to modify your project. I know you need to you need to balance out your needs, basically. The scholarships are not affected by this, so everything will work just as it used to work. I'm answering to Pakistan, Asia. Fabiola, it's not about grades flexibility, it's about learning objective flexibility. I hear your question. I think I know what you mean. But it's a mistake to say, well, because it's online, even if you didn't do that good, I give you a higher grade. That's wrong, in my view. What is right is because it's online, I'll ask you different things and I evaluate you fairly on that. So provided that what I ask you is doable with these remote possibilities, then you'll be graded fairly in the good or for the good or for the bad. That would be the approach. I see Nazil. I know you probably cannot go back to Milan. Or for first semester exams, you say, yes, for those, obviously we were not prepared to do an online education for the first semester. So not all exams were thought of as online. And many of the exams for the first semester, we have not done them yet. We'll try to do more. So we'll organize sessions in which you may see some exams that we said we cannot do them. We'll try to find a way to do them online. Some others will be postponed. And if you need to graduate and you're missing exams for the first semester, we'll try to arrange something with your lecturer so that you can actually do the exam. That's for Nazil. The rest of the semester, it will be done online, Hoang and Nguyen. Maybe you missed the first part, so you can later go back and review it. The whole second semester will be done online, remotely. Rawan, internship for masters, that's another good point. Internships, there are two cases. We have companies that said, we're fine in doing remote internships. And some students said, okay. Some others said, some companies said, no, sorry, we cannot do them online, we cannot do them remotely. And some students said, even if it's possible, I don't want to do it remotely, which is fair. I mean, it is fair. It's also a personal choice, and you have the right to, wait and see when this will be possible again. This may result, if you want to do it in person, in an extension of your study period. So obviously, we'll have to wait and see when things will be back to normal. But the Career Service is speaking to those companies really almost on a daily basis. So we try to, as soon as somebody says, yes, we can do an internship remotely, we'll try to contact you and give you this possibility, even though many of you don't want to take it. Good question, Noam. If things will be, I lost you. Sorry. I've lost it. I have many messages together. Sorry, I've lost. If things will go back to normal, the semester will be online anyway. Yes. Why? We will not go back to normal classes this semester because not many of you, I mean, not all of you, will be able to come back. So it's not possible to do both online and in presence. Also for organizational things, it's really a complicated schedule to put together. And also, if we think the whole point of this is that we can, as teachers, make a plan for some months that makes sense, have a larger view. I don't want to change it in between for teachers who plan the whole semester online and then we have to switch back to normal. It won't work. And besides, many students will not be able to attend. However, what is going to happen if we can go back to normal is that the whole academy will open up again. Labs, services, everything will be possible to be used. So in that case, who can travel to Milan and go to the academy, obviously will have everything else available. But the classes will be held online and everything will be held online. Detailed information about exams. The scholarships that we run will not be affected even if it's later. And Sanjana, because everything is going to happen within the academic year, nobody should be delayed unless they want to. So if you want to skip exams because you want to do them in presence, then there's nothing we can do. We will have to finish the academic year at some point. At the moment, I cannot give you any guarantee on that. But if you do everything online, then your scholarship shouldn't be affected. Tatiana, Erasmus next year. I have maybe some colleagues from the Erasmus. Oh, here that they are. Tatiana, for you, there is a reply just slightly below with a contact that you can get in touch with of our Erasmus office. So if you speak to them, they will be able to help you. Thank you. That's probably our colleagues from the Erasmus office. Extra activities counts as credit, Anna. Let's be specific. Like everything else you do apart from your courses, like personal projects, going to exhibitions and make a report, the interdisciplinary workshops, they can count as credits, and there is a normal procedure for that, and there is a form. Well, the workshops are normally automatic, but if you do a personal project, then you can ask your course leader to give you credit for that. There is a form, there is a procedure, and that has not changed. So whatever you do on your own as an extra activity, you can follow the normal procedure. You'll find it on MyNABA. If you're talking about the integrative activities, the integration, that they may or may not give credits. Honestly, if I have to be very sincere with you, we haven't made a plan yet for credits for them. Give us a little bit of time, or we go by priorities. Our priority last week was I wanted to secure the funds and the resources to give you those activities. And I'm telling you, like verbally, then we will follow up with some written information, and we will specify other things. So please hold on to that, and we will let you know if those. We need also check accreditation regulations. It's not that easy. I can't just say yes, this is credit, or no, this isn't. I need to double check to make sure that we can or we cannot do it. So we'll get back to that later, though. Yes, Nazin, you say we will be able to complete the classes as originally planned. Yes, whatever was your original plan, everything will be completed on time. So if you need to do that, you will be able to do it. Naba Hoang, we consider the workload now that everything is online. Yes, we consider it very much, Hoang. However, if you feel that something is too heavy for you in a particular class or so, please speak to your teachers directly. Let them know about your feelings in terms of workload, or where is this going. If something is not clear to you, please speak to them directly. You should both act as professionals. So you're, yes, our student, but you're also a professional person. So there is nothing wrong in saying, excuse me, professor, I really don't understand, or this is really too much. We have, a lot of other things this week the other teacher may not know. I mean, everybody is open, and myself also as a teacher, I would happily accept an advice on that from you. So if you don't feel comfortable to talk to your teacher for whatever reason, you can talk to your course leader about workload. But yes, we do keep that into account. Where am I? Thank you, Alessandro, for reminding that. Okay, Alessandro is giving me other communication. Okay, so thank you. Pattern meeting of first semester can be so specific, Negar. We will ask again teachers if they can make an effort, because the situation has changed. So if we were thinking of going back to normal, everybody was like, okay, wait, I'll do my exam as I usually do practically. Because this is not possible in the short term, it may be. So you have communication of that on specific courses. Una, no, I'm not saying that the exams from last semester are not planned. Actually, they are planned online, many of them. Valentina, that's my answer to this. Our tuition fee is the same as last week. In order to have a response about this, we need to assess the situation when everything is finished, so that we can actually, properly assess what was the impact, what was given and not given, and what was lost. So I'm sorry, I'm not really in a position where I can tell you anything about it. So it's an administrative question. Some decisions need to be made by the corporation, as you can imagine. So when this will be possible, but I'll tell you, it's going to be when the situation is over that you can get a reply on that. Before, it's not, it doesn't make any sense. Irene Pianeta Maldonado, we know you have struggles in materials and in stores, and also in equipment. So it will be different. My point is, what we are going to offer you online, we don't want to, pretend it's the same thing, but online. We know, we are all people of, creative backgrounds. So we know very well that it's not the same. We are asked by our government and, every nation in the world is to have an academic continuity, so to deliver subjects anyway. So we'll change the learning objectives of those subjects so that we try to ask you something that can be done in the given circumstances, which are not even the same for all of you. So some people may have some materials, some people may have not. So it really depends. We know it's not the same thing. That's why we plan on doing extra things later as a sort of an integration to what cannot possibly be asked of you these days. Sophia, this is a very specific question, Sophia Burgos. I would ask career service on that. And for very specific things, this is not the place for me to reply, otherwise it gets very, very long. It may be possible, but let's discuss it later with the career service. Rawan, so you need to, again, I will speak to Secretaria, because if we plan activities, if you have activities until September, then you should have already the paper. So I'm not sure I understand the question, but I will speak to Secretaria about permessi di soggiorno and visas and documents you need. I'm sorry, it's a bit unclear what you're asking me. Spring break according to schedule, that's a good question. We are following the holidays, let's say, as planned. Sabina, grazie, thank you for being here. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yes, if a class was scheduled as suspended because of Easter, for example, then it will not happen. Maybe the teacher can say to you, I was scheduled for Monday, I'll be available on Tuesday or whatever. That's up to the single teachers, but the calendar has not changed. Erasmus, Noam, there are contacts of the Erasmus office above, so just speak to them. Thank you. Thank you, Alessandro, for confirming about visas. Sorry, I've lost a few comments. Where were I? Here. Okay. Simone is responding to Irene. Good. Susan, everybody is really in intensive work. I'm sorry if they haven't got back to you yet. I'm sure they will. Please, have some patience. Ines, the same. I'm sure they will reply to you very soon. So they're even here listening to you. So they will get back to you as soon as possible. Anna Maria, you can do online activities. I covered this before, so if you don't mind, when I'm done with here listening back to the whole recording, because I've covered this. If I'm misunderstanding your question, please, if you can word it differently, because I've covered this point already. Allah K, do you need to write professors about the exams because the exams are in the same time we have classes? Yes, I mean, if something is colliding, you can obviously have personal arrangements of timing. That's possible. Just write to your teachers and see what you can do. Irene, I don't know if Simone has responded to you already, but whatever show we had planned for June is very likely to be postponed. So, and your deadlines, I know there is some flexibility on that. I don't know if Simone maybe is responding to you, but please refer to Simone, to Colombaledi, or to your teacher, because I know of some flexibility around those deadlines. Yes, Akanksha 97, we are planning those activities to be scheduled. So it's not free access for everybody. That doesn't make any sense. I mean, obviously there is a limited access. So we will schedule them according to the number of people, and you will be, again, scheduled over a period of time. So you'll have your integrations as you should do. Susan, I'm sorry if you cannot come back if you wanted to, but if you need to finish your semester, you can, because it will be online. So I'm sorry you're going to miss the extras, very likely. Really, there's nothing I can do if you cannot come back. Sorry. Thank you, Alessandro and Simone. Irene. Irene, yes, I know you intend the fashion show. Yeah, everything will exist. We are not canceling things. At least we can postpone them. So it's the master one. I think it was already scheduled for September. So that one maybe not postponed, but we will update you on that. But we will do it for sure. We will do it. When? It's a big question. Susan, I know, I see your point, and that's why we have planned integration activities. I know you're not satisfied, and you have the right not to be. However, please tell me what you would do, because now I'm very curious. More than planning in-person activities when the law will allow us to do them, I mean, if you're asking me to do them now, obviously I can't. So really, I don't really know how to respond to your point, because it's not even a question, it's a statement. So I can only say, okay, I see you're not satisfied, but I don't see a way out, if not what we have planned. So please be clearer, or I'm sorry if the whole world is in this situation right now, but really it's beyond everybody's control. So I think it's fair to plan integration at a later stage. That's the only thing we can do. We could not do it. For us, it would be legal not to do it, obviously. We would be legally, perfectly fine not to organize anything. So we decided to do it because we believe it's, what we should do. So again, I really don't see, don't get your point. I'm sorry. Can we defer? This is administrative. Everything is tuition fees. I'm sorry, I really need to get you to administration. And for whatever is reimbursements or changes, I don't have any information yet. I'm sorry. Tanishka Kokare, obviously some things will change. So every teacher will respond to this new situation in a different way. It could be more software, it could be with material that it's easy to find at home. And again, if even so you cannot have access to that, we will have to do personalized things these days. So feel free to say to your teachers, if he or she is asking something you don't have access to, that you don't have access to. And I'm sure they will find an alternative solution. We will really try to do our best to do that. Of course, Rawan will try to help you within the boundaries of the law to elongate your permit of stay. Absolutely. Noam Chen, sure. As soon to make this email that you asked me to do, to give you a calendar of what things will change, what we will do after the semester, we need to have more details about when the situation will be back to normal. But I can tell you already from now, in general terms, we will be considering July, August, and September, if necessary, as working months. So some of the activities may have to be organized also in these months. We try to avoid it. We try, if possible, to make things normally as much as we can. But if that means, because we don't want to, overflow too much into the new academic year, because otherwise we'll be overloaded with other new things. So if that is necessary, we will work during the summer. So as soon as we know, you will also know. Housing, thank you for the email. Where were we? Got these. Semester is online, yes. Simone, thank you. Anna Maria, you can do, it's not workshops, it's online courses, Anna Maria Juncker. Those are available anytime, every day, night, day, 24/7, whenever you want. And those courses are, if you go to your One Login, you should see a LinkedIn Learning tab or button, whatever. You click it and you can browse the list of courses. I would say consult with your course leader if the course you choose is eligible for extra credit, and that would be done. You can do it anytime, as many as you like. Tajestia, okay, I see your need. I do really see a question. Maybe you are writing it later. I can't read this name in this alphabet, I'm sorry. But if students abroad will not be able to come back to Italy, you'll be willing to open an online class for them? Yes, that's exactly what we are doing. The semester is completely online. That's a case of students who cannot come back. So you will be able to follow online. Tejta Pradhan, yes, that's please deal with that with the email Alessandro is giving you. And those are the same question. Anne-Charlotte Bulukian. Okay, we are. You asked me if you have a class that you can have right now because you need to shoot with a camera and everything. Obviously, you cannot do it now. So you will do it later. The thing is, let's say, I don't know what is the subject already, but if it was like direction of photography, or I don't know, whatever is like camera movements one, obviously some things you can do them, like basic things with different cameras, some others not. So we will do online the whole course anyway, perhaps with a more theoretical perspective, because again, some people may need to have those credits in any case. So yes, it will be a different course, or better, the subject will be taken not practically as intended, but more theoretically. But yes, you will do. This is a simple, basic case of we will need to integrate it at a later stage. Yes. I hope that responds to your question. Okay, Luca is also responding, Luca Poncellini, to that. Thank you. Wait, and I cannot tell you things for sure. I cannot really tell you now that they will be arranged in August. What I said is, if needed, yes. If there is not enough time because the situation prolongs so much that we need to start the new academic year at some point, and we can't really overlap everything. No, so if that means we need to do things in August, we will do them in August. If there is a chance of having a more normal calendar and be closed or on holiday or not involved those activities in August, we'll try not to do it. But I'm sorry, there's all I can say. Susan, no, you not offended me. Sorry, maybe I sounded offended, but I wasn't. I just really couldn't understand what was your point. Now I see it. So please feel free to give feedback. A year off system. Really, I don't know what school is having a year off. I'm really, having a lot of talks with other schools, and even in Europe, at the moment, the ones that I know that I've talked to, nobody's playing the whole year off. So I'm sorry, that's not an option for us anyway. So we're not taking a year off. Noam, and again, I want to specify, it's not necessarily in the summer, because somebody asked me organizational things. I said it may be in the summer, it may be in September. So let's not be already, booking our summer in Milan. Let's wait for a moment, just be prepared for that. And I said already, we'll let you know if there are extra credits involved or not. At the moment, in terms of content, is integrations of things you could not do online. But whatever you will do online will give you full credits for the semester. So I hope that clarifies. And it won't be compulsory. If you want to do them, you do them. If you don't want to do them, it's not an absence. You're not downgraded or anything. Lena Pande, there was a link to Milan Housing. Please just speak to them about housing. Susanna, yes, the rest of the semester remains online. If you want more details, you can go back and list them back, and everything is very clearly explained. Anne-Charlotte, yes, I see your point. Yes, we cannot have them now. Now you have whatever is possible to let you have. Sanjana, the online classes will be for the whole semester, regardless of other measures. Thank you, Anne-Charlotte, and thank you, Alessandro, for reminding that. Okay, so things seem to have been. I'll just wait another moment if you have any more questions on this, and then there are another couple of information I want to give you, on which you. Obviously, it's less intense. I understand this was a very big thing to discuss, so it was right to take some time. And by all means, I'm saying general things here, obviously, that are valid for the whole of NABA. Then every course have different needs, different specificalities. So in the next days, you can speak to your course leaders on how things will be deployed specifically for your course. Obviously, I cannot go into every details here, but there will be more information. Okay, it seems on this I don't see any more questions. So another couple of things. We are very close to open computer labs for you remotely. So very soon you will be able to connect in class and on a sort of a free access mode to our machines in the computer labs. So you can use all the software that is normally in NABA from home. Another couple of days, I would say, so that everything gets organized and you have access to that. And that means also to the library. And every other service of the Academy is obviously running the situation is not normal for anyone, but running as normal as they can run these days. One in particular is a counseling service. I've got many emails from you these days asking me for, what NABA is doing to support students who cannot cope with the situation or with things that are not specifically subject related. So we have a counseling service available always, even not in this case, but in this case it's always available remotely. There is an email that you can find in my NABA that is counseling@naba.it. You can write, there is a professional certified counselor that can help you out. It's free for you as much as you need. So make sure that if you need that service, you use it. There are some other questions. I really don't know, Tanishka, about your agreements with your landlord. There's no way I can know. I hope they will understand, but I don't know. And also, Milan Housing is out of. Sorry. All these questions, Susanna, about open that really, I'm not in a position to answer that. So I'm really sorry, I cannot help you. Sanjana is asking a question, but everything will be completed as per academic calendar. Yes, get in touch with your landlord. I agree with Agnese. Sanjana, that sounds like the end of another questions that I don't see the beginning of, unfortunately. Oh, the online classes, yes, everything will be online. Yes, hope that is what you're asking me. Okay, so that was for other services. What else? Sorry, I'm just reading my notes. You will receive. Okay, I'm sorry, no questions. You will receive in the next days a survey. I know you don't like survey. I know you think we don't read them, but we do. And the reason why we are sending out now is because we don't think it's a good idea not to send it. We have qualitative data. We know how you feel from what you say to us, obviously via email, via this feedback, via all the other means. But surveys are like a thermometer. When you have a fever, you want to check your temperature, and the survey is an instrument that roughly can tell you if things are, where are the main problems. And in days like these, so when you don't feel normal, you try your temperature, you measure your temperature. You don't do it when you feel all right, unless you want to check. So yes, there will be specific questions in the survey about this situation, the online things that we are doing. So if you want to contribute and give your feedback also that way, it helps having a quantitative vision, which is not enough. We need both quantitative and qualitative. So if you could just respond, please do. Thank you. Okay. Just other things I can tell you while I wait for last questions, and then I'll say goodbye. We're asking teachers to do more live streaming instead of not live, and to record them. So I know that was an issue for somebody not to have the class recorded. I hope that will be fixed in the next days. So you should find more. Yes, Ayun, about graduation. Internship, I've responded, so please go back to the recording later. You'll find the answers. About graduation, again, the calendar remains the same, and if we can do them in presence, we'll do all the graduations in presence. If we cannot do them, we'll do them online. And we will ask you, do you still want to do it even if it's online, or do you want to defer? And then you let us know. Let's see, Marine Jessica. Yes, I can't. I say that, but it's good to say that again, because yes, all the classes of all subjects will remain online for the whole semester. That doesn't mean that there is no chance for you to be in Italy, because it may be that we can open the academy for other activities like labs, library, and so on. So obviously, as soon as we can do that, you're more than welcome to come and study in Italy again, obviously. I hope that's what you asked me. You may or may not be able to do it, we don't know. So in case you can, obviously, you're welcome to come. If you can't, you still have your semester online. Janaki, also for fast track courses, there will be labs after the lockdown. So when we will be able to do them, obviously, we know that fast track have different timing priorities, and we will keep that in mind. Not all courses have the same needs. So this is known by us, and we'll prioritize, obviously. Susanna, yes, remote internships, we even made a legal counsel to make sure that this is possible, and they should be. So to double check, talk to career service, but I'm quite sure there won't be any problems. Admissions to what, Sanjana? I don't really know exactly what you're talking about, but you can talk to your admission person. I don't know the course, I don't have much details on that, but please speak to admissions if you want to stop and restart. And whoever you are with this name that I cannot read, I'm really sorry. You want to ask when you will get a timetable for the extracurricular courses. Timetable, you'll have them when we have certainties about normality. So it may take a while. And it's not a priority, honestly. Please, today the priority is to let you know that there will be, and that there will be a good amount of them. This is the message I want to give you. Then if it's on Monday, if it's for a week, if it's for 1 day a week for 2 months, we'll see that, and it will depend on the subject. As soon as we are able to make a plan, we will share, but at the moment, I'm sorry, I can't. And waiting for the final questions. You have realized that this week, all of us, we need to make a change of our mentality, because so far we have all, I mean, that applies to me, but I also think to you and others, we all reason, we all thought in short term, like if this thing would finish soon and we could go back to normality. So we're holding on, knowing that things will be over very soon. As of this week, I'm talking about Italy at the moment, so other countries may have different timings. We know this is not going to happen. We know it's not a short deadline we have. So after the 3rd of April, things will not be normal again. So we need to really change if we want to, I'm talking now, larger than number that applies to all of our lives. If we want to keep it up, if we want to really go through this phase, we should change the state of mind to longer term. So let's be prepared to a longer period for whatever is our lives, a longer period of this kind of measures, because this is what is going to happen. If we are not, then obviously our well-being is going to be affected. That's valid for every field in our lives. Another couple of questions, and then I say goodbye. Extra credit? No. Yun Cho, you can still go for extra credit activities even from today. I've responded to that before, so maybe if you haven't heard that, please go back, and I've said a couple of things about LinkedIn Learning and a lot of other activities that you can find. And also talk to your consider, but also if you listen back, you will hear some responses from me. Okay, I think that's all from me today. I will see you again soon. As you now, this sort of webinar live streaming thing has become a routine for me and for you too. So there will be more. It's a way to keep in touch that I personally like to have this exchange with you this way. So I hope you do. And it's a way for me to be in touch with you, being a mass of students. It's not very easy to hear from you. You write me more than usual these days. Don't be afraid. Feel free to do that. Also know that there are other people in the academy that can help you maybe faster than me, because it will take me a few days to respond to your emails. I also wanted to say that. I normally respond to everybody. Just give me some time. If you're in a hurry, it's very likely that there is somebody else in the academy that can help you faster than me, because that's probably the specific job of theirs. I can point you to them quickly. You can look to Mainaba and see who is the best person to fix a particular issue of yours. You can talk to your assistant or to your course leaders. They know who work here and they know the email. They can help you go to ask the right people the right thing. Again, feel free to write me. I'll try to be quick, but also I apologize in advance if I am not very quick. Okay, I guess this is all. Again, thank you for listening so attentively. I could see you were really asking fewer questions than usual. That means you were hopefully listening closely to me. And again, everybody, I can see in our students, you are being very mature and very professional about this situation. And I think while maturity, I expect it to people of your age, obviously, because that comes with culture, but also comes with age. Professionalism is something that I think, my perception, many of you have sort of improved very quickly. It's not taken for granted that you can be professional in this stage of your studies. Obviously, master courses are different than first year undergraduate, but I could see that many of you can relate to other people in the academy, like me or your teachers, in a very professional way. This is a skill that it's good that you have developed, that we appreciate, and it's not taken for granted. So I would like to say thank you for your professionalism in giving your feedback and asking us questions. So let's try to keep it up. It's not easy for anybody. And I'll see you again very soon. Thank you and good afternoon.